Yellowjackets season 3 episode 7. Let's get right into it. So it starts off, we see this frog, and that terrifying screech sound that we've been hearing has been these fucking demons the whole time. And I'm pretty sure this episode debunks a lot of what people have been thinking these hikers, or some people assume that these were bird watchers. No, they actually study frogs. They're frog hunters or some shit like that. And Joe McHale makes an appearance, and he is the third person in this group. He's kind of like the guide. We have Hannah and Edwin, or Edward. Let's just call him Ed. And this is what they do. They pretty much look for these weird ass fucking frogs that make these demonic ass fucking sounds. And you see Hannah constantly flirting with Cody over here. That's Joe McHale's character. And Ed is just not really just feeling this guy Cody. Doesn't really trust him. Is very suspicious of him. Definitely jealous. And the first 10 minutes or so is just kind of focusing on them. It almost feels like a completely different show. I get it though, to kind of explain who these people are and where they came from. But they picked a hell of a time to run into the Yellowjackets, and boy, do they regret that instantly, as everybody's kind of shocked. But Lottie, man, she just goes in crazy and just kills Ed. And Sean is having a blast, like, oh my God, she's fucking loving it. Everybody else is like, yo, what the fuck? And this is what we've been kind of waiting for this whole series, is to see more of this, more of the Yellowjackets hunting down people. And we get a lot of that in this episode. Obviously, they cut from the adult storyline to the wilderness, but I just want to kind of focus on the wilderness right now, because this was really dope to kind of see this and see how animalistic they get and how they're in tuned with the wilderness and kind of just losing their mind. Seeing just Nat, that was really unsettling. And you see the terror in somebody like Hannah's face, as she's just trying to hide and keep her composure and not give her location away. But of course, the group all split up. They're able to get Hannah out of hiding. She kind of gives herself up, but Shauna wants blood. But Nat is able to kind of just be like, yo, calm down, let's just bring her back to camp, because these people could be our way out. But other people kind of see it the other way, like they've seen too much, they gotta die type of shit. Also, we see Travis saving Cody over here, which I don't know how that's gonna go. And it was interesting that Misty was so close for just losing her whole entire head. Melissa gets hit with an arrow though, and they've been spending all night trying to get this arrow out, and they decided to just kind of run it through her. So, and it's also confirmed in the adult storyline that Melissa is seemingly dead. Also, I gotta really give shout out to young Lottie here. She's looking iconic with just the blood just drenched on her, and that was crazy, where she kind of snapped out of it, asking if she could help, and everybody's like, no, fuck off, you've done enough. Van and Ty were also able to find the radio that ended up getting broken earlier in the episode, which disappointed Van, because it's like, damn, that was our one way to kind of get out of here. So there are some people that are thinking like, yo, maybe we can get some information out of these people. If not, they gotta go. So I don't know what they're gonna do with Hannah here, how long she's gonna last, or what they're gonna do with Cody. Who knows? That's pretty much the end of the wilderness story for this episode. Now switching over to the adult storyline, where we have Shauna re-listening to the tape, and you hear Hannah speaking about having a daughter. So now that Shauna knows that, damn, she has a kid, she's probably the one that's like kind of terrorizing us or threatening us. So she wants to put a stop to this, and she wants to protect her family. She wants Jeff not to get involved, doesn't want Callie to get involved at all, not knowing that she's doing her own kind of research on the disappearance and just what happened to the Yellowjackets. And I think we're going to see Callie turn on her mom, and that's going to be very interesting. Then Misty pops up on Van and Ty to confront Ty about her being the last person to see Lottie, and Van being kind of surprised by this. So they try to get to the bottom of this, and then run into Shauna, and Shauna pretty much breaks down like, yo, there's more on that tape, and there's more things that we probably didn't know about, like this girl Hannah having a kid out there somewhere. So they go on a Yellowjacket road trip, which I don't think they're really good at, covering their tracks. They're, using their cards and everything like that, just doing a lot of incriminating things without really knowing it. So we'll see what they do with that. I doubt anything will come about that, but me personally, I'm gonna cover my tracks. I'm not gonna stop a lot of places. So we definitely see a scene between Van and Ty where, Van's just like, yo, promise me that you had nothing to do with Lottie being killed. So that's still up in the air. We don't know for certain who killed Lottie, but what ends up happening next is really interesting, where Walter finally gets his results back to talk to Misty about the DNA that was found on Lottie's body was Shauna. So Misty quickly starts to text Ty and Van saying like, Shauna has something to do with this. But then this road trip kind of gets abruptly stopped as Van starts to really cough up blood, and I thought it was her just kind of trying to come up with this distraction, but no, she's in really bad shape. So they go to the hospital. Shauna and Misty start to kind of go at it, where Misty starts to press Shauna about killing Lottie, and this is where Shauna just kind of dips out. She goes out and kind of does her own thing while Van is really tripping out, seeing her younger self. I feel like this is foreshadowing to her death, or something's going to have to happen to Van in this season or next season. I think it's inevitable at this point. So now, Callie confronts Jeff about Shauna and questions her and thinks that, like, yo, maybe she is a bad person, and maybe we should really kind of take this seriously. Because I could definitely see a scenario where Jeff starts to kind of question Shauna, and that is going to lead to him ended up dead somehow, some way, protecting Callie, because those two are going to end up, teaming up. I'm not too sure that Shauna would probably, kill her own daughter, but what I'm saying, we've seen her do a lot crazier things. Overall, solid episode. The pacing has been a much better these last couple of episodes. Still have some answers, some surprises with the whole Hannah having a teenage daughter out there. We still don't know if she has something to do with this, or if this is another Yellowjacket out there that is looking for revenge. A lot of interesting things with the wilderness. We want to see. I think I speak for a lot of Yellowjacket fans. We want to see more of the animalistic, cannibal Yellowjackets in the wilderness, and less silly nonsense that kind of goes on a lot of these episodes. Let me know how you feel about this episode in the comments below. Till next time, I will see y'all in the next one. Peace.